Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. I thought I would sit down and do a video for you guys and gals. Alright, so I had someone link me an article that I scanned over briefly. Now it came out of the UK, but it's kind of funny because it was referencing, a US government advisor who is essentially saying, look, ultra-processed foods do not cause obesity. And here's our problem with that statement. They essentially said, and they aren't incorrect, but there's a problem with the chain of logic here. Because it's the same stuff the flexible dieting people use, and ultimately there's issues with a lot of that for most people. They're like, look, it's not technically the ultra-processed foods, it's the calories, it's your calorie intake that causes it. And while that is absolutely true, but not really, is it? Let's be specific. Be specific. Surplus calories make you store the dietary fat you eat, okay? Irrespective of where those calories come from, the fat that you eat is what gets stored. It's not all calories. Humans do not store carbohydrate and protein readily as body fat. But you will burn them for fuel, just like you'll burn fat you eat for fuel, and then any excess fat gets stored. Now, here's the problem with them making that declaration. It's true, but that's also like saying, hey, guns don't kill people, it's the bullets that do it. Yeah, okay, but you need a delivery system, right? And I think most people grasp that. Okay, yes, the excess calories are what is leading to the obesity, but how are people getting those excess calories? Okay, I have made the statement many times, nobody gets fat on brown rice and sweet potatoes. Anyone choose to disagree? Right? High satiety foods that have almost no fat in them, that are slow digesting, and they fill you up. They don't have a particularly high calorie density either. Right? You're not going to get fat eating those. It would be almost impossible. Now, if you added a bunch of butter, a bunch of table sugar and butter to them, okay, fine. Right? You add a ton of oil to that brown rice, all right, and some sweet sauce. You put piles and piles of butter and maybe a little sugar on those sweet potatoes, okay. Now you could do it, but the brown rice and the sweet potatoes aren't going to get you there. But what are those other things? Those are all ultra-processed foods, right? Everyone, they always jump at the ultra-processed, the keto people. It's the sugar, but then they don't want to admit butter is an ultra-processed food linked to obesity. It absolutely is. It is an it's not just a processed food, it is an ultra-processed food. It's nothing but junk fat calories. That's all it is. There's almost no nutritional value in it beyond that. Everything's been stripped out. Okay? So when you look at it from this perspective, what is causing people to get the surplus calories? What I have been saying for years, and other people I've discussed it with, we all know this. Everyone in fitness circles knows this. Everyone with any knowledge or education at all. Calorie-dense, hyper-palatable foods. That is the term we use. Because you don't want to just say just ultra-processed. Because it is about calorie density. Foods that have a huge amount of calories for the amount of volume are easier to overeat. If they're hyper-palatable, they are easy to overeat. What makes something hyper-palatable? Combined, we have three major taste buds, three taste receptors that will make things taste good to us, okay? The ones that we enjoy. They're salty, fatty, and sweet. If you combine any two of those together in large amounts, it's hyperpalatable. Okay, so if something is salty and fatty, bacon, cheese, potato chips, right? French fries, pizza, easy. All right, if it's sweet and fatty, notice we don't just say sweet, it's not just sugar. You need that fatty with it. That's what really creates the hyperpalatability. I'll give you examples. Cake, ice cream, donuts, pie, sweet and fatty. They have a huge amount of fat calories and a huge amount of refined sugar and sweetness to go with it. They are hyperpalatable. All right? So when you say, well, technically it's not the calories, but How are some people supposed to eat their maintenance calories? People who do not train for hours a day, people who don't work out and exercise with tons of muscle for hours a day, who only burn 2,200 calories. You don't think the ultra processed foods are going to leave them starving? If you eat 1,500 calories of junk, you eat 1,500 calories of ice cream or french fries, ding dongs, whatever, cupcakes, Pop-Tarts, right? Whatever, any of those hyper-palatable foods. You eat 1,500 calories of that, do you really think only 500 calories of whole foods is going to fill most people up? They're only burning 2,200, they're going to end up eating 3,000 easily, because your appetite's not going to be satiated. They're going to make you hungry. They also do things to where your blood sugars and energy levels, they spike and then they drop back down. Okay, makes you lethargic and it makes you hungry. That's a bad combination, because again, we talk about the calorie and you have to eat less and move more to lose weight. So if these foods make you eat more, and again, when we say eat less, we mean less calories. We don't mean less food, but we come back over to the more ultra processed something is, usually the higher the calorie density. The more calories there are for the same size. So a food this big could be 300 calories or it could be 1,500 calories. Okay? Is it a cantaloupe or is it pizza? Is it a potato or is it french fries? Or ice cream? Understand the difference here? So when they say the ultra processed doesn't, technically they're correct. You could eat a diet of ultra processed food. If we locked you in a cage to where you couldn't have access to anything but what we gave you, and you were obese and we only gave you 1,500 calories of donuts every day, or ice cream, and that's all you were allowed to eat, you would lose weight. Sure, because of the calories. But get left to your own devices, you're going to eat way more than 1,500 calories if a large portion of your diet comes from those foods. So the problem with all of this is that it's nonsense. It's the same thing of when people say, oh, just eat in a calorie deficit to lose weight, but then they don't tell you how to eat in a calorie deficit. They don't give you viable strategies that are going to work for you as a person. Right, that's a problem. There's a reason some of these fad diets are successful. Yes, they're stupid sometimes. Yes, they're based on nothing. But if they take away your junk food and they give you any means to control calories, they're going to have a lot of people who do have success on them. But not because it was the specifics of the fad diet. It's because they took away your pizza and ice cream. They took away your table sugar and your butter. Okay? That's why. Because then it was easier for you to control calories and to eat less. That's what it comes down to. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.